Did this chapter change anything for you guys? And again, spoilers. We'll be talking about spoilers in this video. So if you're just anime only, just bounce, because we will be talking about the recent chapters and spoilers are going to be in the video. Okay. So just letting you guys know that now. But back to my question. Did this chapter change anything for you guys in regards to how you perceive the Yonko? Because if it did, or if it does, it should not at all. I'll explain. Well, wait. There's some people that they have no choice but to change their expectations or how they feel about it because of how lofty their expectations were. They've created an image, a deity almost, in regards to Kaido, and when that just comes crashing into the ground, they go the complete opposite way. Now, Kaido is trash. But sometimes in these situations, two things can be true. Kaido can still be great, and the Scabbards can just be underrated. Both things can be true. But what are we talking about today? Kaido is the reason why One Piece is amazing. What does that even mean? Well, before we get into Kaido, we have to talk about One Piece and why it's amazing. In One Piece, one of the reasons why it's amazing, it's a bunch of reasons. Viola is one of them, Nami, Rap, but other reasons why One Piece is amazing revolve not only around world building, I think a clever power system, very interesting characters, an insane cast, a lovable MC, but also the ability to set the stage. One Piece is the king of setting the stage. I'm not even going to talk about Marineford here and how One Piece strategically set up all these different plot points and it all culminated at that one singular amazing arc. Let's talk about characters and how Oda sets the stage or sets up these characters, tells you about these characters, but then doesn't tell you everything. And then when you finally meet these characters, they're not what you expect them to be. Or if they are, there's a reason behind it. Does it justify some of their actions? Absolutely not. But you understand it a lot more. The first character I'll start with, and my favorite character in One Piece, I'll talk about Doflamingo. Doflamingo is a pompous, arrogant, god tier character. That dude is amazing. But his actions, how he took over Dressrosa, his attitude, even his lifestyle, and also his PTSD. What am I talking about? Well, Doflamingo, there were moments in Dressrosa where we saw him just sitting and thinking and having sometimes cold sweats when he was thinking about the past. Then we're like, what happened? What's wrong with him? But for Dofi, before we knew anything about him, he was painted as almost a maniacal agent of chaos. He enjoyed chaos, enjoyed anarchy, and his sole purpose was to cause that and to relish that. He had amazing speeches though, and he always talked about what was true in the world, what reigned. Power, winning, who wins is in control. Power is control. So for Doflamingo, while he was somewhat of a truth teller, he was a fucked up, despicable human being. But why was that? When we get some more about Doflamingo, we learn about his backstory, in a way in which he was groomed by the people around him, how he mercilessly killed his brother, but was it justified? Do you understand why a kid that was a former celestial dragon being brought down to the slums, then persecuted and almost crucified by the people of these slums, would then go on to hate the world? Yeah, it's childish, but those are his experiences. Not saying everyone will have the same reaction to the same experience, because Corazon, his brother, went on to be a Marine and acknowledged, yes, the things that I went through were terrible, but what can I do to fix them? But with this backstory, you started to understand this character more, not to justify what he did, even though I do it sometimes, but you understand them more. The Yonko as a group, I think Oda has done this masterfully with them. Painted by Garp, the 4 emperors. These people control the seas. These people are the strongest pirates in the story. You know what? Let me rephrase, because people are going to dissect what I said. They are the greatest pirates in the story currently. But that's also semantics, because people view them as the strongest or some of the strongest pirates in the story. But, you know, let's say greatest. The 4 greatest pirates. So then it creates an expectation. These great pirates are going to be amazing. And then the first Yonko that we come into contact with, the first time we lay eyes on the strongest man in the world, one of the 4 Yonko was Whitebeard. But the Whitebeard that we saw was hooked up to a machine and seemed like he needed it. This was one of the strongest people in the world. He was the strongest man in the world. Wait, am I supposed to feel this way about the Yonko? Am I supposed to question whether or not this dude can hang with the strongest pirates in the world? Well, initially, there were some doubts because you knew this man was sick, but then you saw Marineford. In Marineford, Whitebeard was a terror. He was a monster. He was wreaking havoc and destroying almost everything in his path. But the more Marineford went on, the more it was apparent, I don't think this guy is what he used to be. Several instances, several moments letting us know he was not the same. Based on the story and the expectations set on Whitebeard from what he was, what the people knew him as, He was not that. The reality of the situation is that Whitebeard was old and sick. There's also somewhat of a jaded view in regards to Whitebeard and his family. I think Whitebeard tried to cultivate a family atmosphere in which Marco talked about how great it was being around people who chose to be around you, right? They picked their brothers for the most part. And a lot of these people, they didn't have a place to call home, have people to look up to. So for them, calling Whitebeard Oyaji, it mattered to them. And Whitebeard, he cultivated that atmosphere. But in the midst of that, there was a lot of brewing turmoil, a lot of past strife, a lot of questions in regards to this family structure. People that were within this structure, they had questions. They were not sure about things. On the same ship, this family structure, they had Blackbeard, someone that was on the ship for decades, kill another member for a devil fruit. How tight is this family structure? You then had Squard, who is a son of Whitebeard, then stab Whitebeard because another one of his brothers was the former son, or the son of the former pirate king. How great is this family structure? At the end of the day, Whitebeard is still the GOAT. Don't get me wrong, but when you look at these situations, things are not always what they seem. Let's talk about Shanks and what we expected from Shanks. From the beginning of the story, Shanks was set up as this free spirit, someone that no matter what, he was going to protect his friends. He was always on the side of freedom, seemingly. He was the one who set Luffy on his path. And for Luffy, he is the embodiment of freedom. So for Shanks, we have this expectation of him. We have this view of Shanks being a true pirate, a good pirate, right? Someone that was going to do the right thing and always stand by his friends. I don't think I'm alone when I said I was truly shocked when Shanks was visiting the Gorosei talking about another pirate. Now, when you think about it, it's not that surprising when you try to piece things together because Shanks actively went to stop Kaido from going to Marineford. Then Shanks actively went to prevent Ace from going after Blackbeard. Seems like he was keeping the peace. So for Shanks, is he on the side of the Marines or the pirates? What are you trying to accomplish? We still don't know, but I didn't expect Shanks to be the one to meet with the Gorosei. A complete surprise. Set the stage, create an expectation, then completely blow you away. Because what you see is not what you get with One Piece. Is that a bad thing? Absolutely not. Let's talk about Big Mom. Wow, Big Mom. Do you remember her introduction? We saw her, she's on her throne, pudding next to her, bobbing in front of her. Seems like she's dripping acid. This maniacal, evil woman. It seemed like she had everything under control. Then we get to Whole Cake Island. We learn more about her network, her intel. Then we learn the truth about Big Mom and Whole Cake Island. Big Mom is a big mess. Yes, Big Mom has her family structure, and she has an entire island in which she's trying to create this utopia. But Big Mom is trying to do that by making everyone large. For the most part, Whole Cake Island, the biggest problem was Big Mom, but Big Mom was also the biggest asset. So you had to protect that. Also for Totland, when you just look at it, the outside view, people are living there and she's protecting them. She's trying to create a utopia. There are people of different species all there and Big Mom's trying to keep them safe. The reality, Big Mom is collecting souls from these people, lifespan for them to stay there. The reality, Big Mom keeps species that she feels are super valuable in a book. And those are her special things that she keeps locked away. But again, for these actions, are they justified? In regards to Big Mom's backstory, she was abandoned by her family, not once, but twice. But the second time, what the hell happened? Big Mom actually ate her fucking family. But again, with perception and reality, Mother Carmel to Big Mom was someone she would look up to, someone that was protecting her. The reality, Mother Carmel was grooming Big Mom to sell her to the world government. What the fuck? The story of One Piece sets the stage, creates expectation, then completely obliterates it. It's genius. So now, let's talk about Kaido, the strongest creature in the world. So Kaido, upon introduction, the hype. The hype could not be contained. This man is somebody that fell from Sky Island and he had a slight headache. Overwhelming strength. Nothing can harm him, not even Kaido. How can anyone do it? How could anyone possibly harm Kaido? Kaido is a man who wants to die. It seems like he's so strong that nothing can harm him. He wants to die. A true warrior. Whitebeard did it the right way. He went out the right way. He was on his way to Marineford. Of course he wanted to challenge everyone. Is that who Kaido is? We've learned some more since then. We've learned about Kaido's takeover of Wano, the factories, the smile, but we've learned of Kaido's interactions with Oden. And for the most part, I think Oden has impacted Kaido more than he thought. Kaido, the world's strongest man, the man who was so strong he was suicidal trying to kill himself, couldn't figure out a way, is not the man you think he is not the creature you think he is. Kaido has an interesting view on pirates, in which he feels like if somebody sees that you're going to lose, pirates, they will betray you. And we've seen that in the story before. With pirate alliances, they normally end in betrayal. And it's funny that he's saying that because for Big Mom seeing Kaido get hurt, one would think she would betray him, right? Because that's what pirates do. That's what Kaido said. So another obvious foreshadow in regards to what's going to happen. But the thing that was tweeted by Valen, I think, was very thought-provoking because it made me think, is there more that we have to figure out about Oyaji? Kaido saying, once they know you're going to lose, they turn on you. Could Kaido have been talking about Whitebeard in Rocks? Because for me, I've been saying Whitebeard was fighting with Roger and Garp. How it's been crafted and what we know about Whitebeard, it just seems like the route he would go. Maybe Zebek didn't tell him exactly what he was trying to do. Whitebeard was just trying to find his family. Then all of a sudden, Zebek is trying to take people away from their families. Not sure how Whitebeard would sit with that. So then he turns on them and he's fighting against everyone else. But what if Whitebeard turned on them when they were about to lose? Or rather, from Kaido's perspective, Whitebeard turned on them because they were about to lose, not knowing the ideals and the things Whitebeard fights for. We know of his interactions with Moria and Apu. It seems to be a bit deeper. And that's the thing with Kaido. Everything is a bit deeper. When we saw him talking about his son in Yamato and his son being at this banquet, we had questions. Who is his son? Is Kaido tripping? Kaido has a daughter in Yamato who wants to be a man in Oden. And Oden is the man who Kaido killed, but Oden died doing something more captivating than Yamato has ever seen in her life and probably will ever see, unless she joins the Straw Hats. But I digress. Because of this and the things Oden said to Kaido, it's impacted him for life. Not only because of the words he said, but he left a permanent scar on Kaido, physically and mentally. So, with this, the indomitable man who cannot even kill himself, who wants to die, has so much trauma based off of his interactions with Oden that physically he's now being hurt by people who we perceive to be weaker than him. So initially it was set up, Kaido, the indomitable force that cannot be hurt, can't even hurt himself. He is now being pierced by people who he thinks as well to be beneath him. It was unexpected. Kaido did not know these people would be able to reach him. So because of this, is Kaido now trash? There's no way we can think that. Time and time again, One Piece has created an expectation and then it has completely blown it out of the water because it's not what we expected. On the surface, Kaido is the strongest creature in the world. Most people, I think, had Kaido as the strongest individual in One Piece. But did we know about his past trauma? Did we know about the things that currently affect him? The things that he currently thinks about? The problems that he has? I don't even think he knew about all of them. And that led us to this. Perception versus reality. What we wanted versus what we got. What we expected versus what it was. That's what Kaido is. So in actuality, this is not what makes One Piece bad. This is what makes One Piece amazing. Oda consistently finds different ways to not only grow our affection for these characters, but also our understanding for these characters and what they go through. He's tackling and talking about actual subject matter that we can relate to, right? There are people that are currently going through mental trauma right now that it's afflicting them physically. That happens. That is a real thing. Do you think it's far-fetched that Kaido, all the trauma he went through with Oden, you think that's crazy that it's affecting him now physically? Oda just did that with Big Mom, where Big Mom, her mental state or her physical state was affected by her mental state. Big Mom, who could not be hurt by anything, scraped her knee on the floor and Mother Carmel's photo fell. It's been done before. He'll do it again. That's all I wanted to say. One Piece is amazing, and this is one of the reasons why. It's really, really top tier. Now, don't get it twisted. We're going to get the Admiral agenda off this week because I know a lot of Yonko fanboys, y'all were running with it for a while. And while I don't think this should change anything in regards to power scaling, you Yonko fanboys are in trouble. On a serious note, Kaido is fine. The story is fine. The scabbards, they're not fine. They're about to go up against Kaido right now. And it's interesting that the scan said that Kaido said the world's strongest power, and the official said, you know, the greatest army in the world. This is almost telling me an incredible defeat is coming for the Alliance. Not only for Kaido versus the Scabbers, but everyone else is going to show up. In regards to the Beast Pirates, they're going to show up and show out, because that's the main point. Kaido saying the greatest army in the world, he's going to show them. Unless Kaido is saying that he's the greatest army in the world. Like, I don't know, Kaido of the 100 Beasts. I'm not sure what's about to happen, but I know it's about to be amazing. My PSA at this point is saying, this is One Piece. This is why it's great. This is why we watch it. This is why we tune in, because of moments like this. It's happened before, and ladies and gentlemen, it will happen again. But guys, give me your thoughts. How do you feel? Are you cool with Kaido? Did this change how you feel about Kaido? Because if it did, it shouldn't. Honestly, it really shouldn't. He's fine. And the story, still great. But again, give me your thoughts. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Follow me on Twitter at BrogDAce. Follow me on Instagram at brogd.ace. Thank you to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. One Piece is heating up, and I literally cannot wait for the next chapter. We're on break next week, so week after next will be good. But yeah, like, subscribe. Catch you in the next one.